Hey there, friends. I'm easing into a couple hours in the Tower Bauer studio. It's Saturday. I've got a lot of stuff to do today, but one of my main things is to create some chippies because I have new journals coming out next week, and I do need to add some chippies to my journals. If you don't know what chippies are, y'all, it's really you are crafting your own chipboard pieces. Now, a lot of the chipboard pieces that we craft with are not made in the USA. So we're taking food packaging, recycled elements, and we're turning them into embellishments for our art supply books, journals, whatever you're making. They're wonderful to just drop into some happy mail or a greeting card, anything like that. We're going to start pretty simple here. I've got just bits and bobs that I've put into a little plastic bin here. I do have a few border strips. The star of the show is the food packaging that I've got here that I've already cut up, and we're ready to roll. A lot of times I like to compose a project on my desk before I close the studio down for the day. I think that preparing an art project, putting it on your desk, and having that ready to go the next morning really enhances your creativity. It gives you, it's like your to-do list, right? Everybody needs a to-do list. And well, I mean, not everybody. People tend to, you make your own determination about your to-do list. I really do like lists. I usually have one going. All right, let's get started. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to use these super cool tissue box little pieces of tag board cardboard that I've cut from a tissue box. So I'm just going to kind of push things out of the way, and we'll just go ahead and get started. As you can see, I mean, this already has a really nice background going for it. It's got some nice detail. I really like the colors. So I have these things that would look nice with this color. So we're going to use that. These tiny little pieces like this are really great to use to bump. You need something bigger than this, right? I love these things because we can put them on a chippy and we've got a bigger surface to work with. So I really love these small-ish kind of things, but a lot of times they kind of get lost in like a chippy stash, or in your stash, or in your extra paper stash, or whatever. So we're just gonna kind of bump this out. And of course, do what you want to. Do it however you want to, because that's your creativity. That's your artistic side coming out. That's your free spirit in there. I'm going to leave this raggy-taggy tatty bit. Hey, Tracy Fox. I love the word tatty, and Tracy does too. I love it. We're going to leave that tatty bit there because that looks super cool. All right, let's take another one. And we could just put that straight on there, but I'm kind of digging this handmade fibrous kind of paper that we have here. Again, I'm not going to cut it. Really liking just the... So this is an awesome way to kind of bump out those small-ish pieces you know, that we kind of all have, right? We all kind of have those smallish pieces. Now, if you're a member of my Patreon group, you guys get free printables. You get printables of the chippies and bits and bobs, and you know, we do printables of things like personal pages in my journals, things like that. So if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description box below. I'm just kind of looking for a word, and there's one right there. This is this awesome Tim Holtz ideology. This one, I can't remember. Chit Chat maybe? And then this one is Small Talk. Love these. Thanks a bunch, Trudy. And there we go. All right, 3 down. Let's see. I love this tissue paper. Isn't that just beautiful? You've got kind of a, I can see a shoreline here. So I think we'll just kind of focus on that shoreline, and I'm going to just use a word right there, because I can see, you know, this looks like waves. This looks like the sandy shore. I like that. Let's choose, let's see if we can get the word adventure. I might choose to use the whole thing. Nah, I just like adventure. I like adventure begins. And often adventure does begin like with an ocean, water. Water is wonderful, like a transmutation sort of element. I think I'm going to cover a little bit of that. I'll just use some tissue paper. It's so lovely. Again, I'm going to leave the tatty bits because they're just really interesting to me. And we'll use Caribbean Memories right there, just like that. I'm going to stand up for a minute to make sure we're all good. Okay. All right, we have these super cool, like, border strips. So let's use those two. Kind of match the tissue box, believe it or not. Alright, and this we're going to use Dreamer. The benefits of having something on your desk first thing in the morning certainly does like cut down on the clutter that we often experience when we sit down at our art desk to work. You know, sometimes it's like you don't know what you want to do, and then you're kind of, you go, oh, well, I'll watch a little YouTube, and then that turns into, you know, hours of watching YouTube, and you didn't get anything done. But as a person on YouTube, I do appreciate you watching. But I do want to encourage you to, you know, maybe consider just kind of putting something on your desk to work on in the morning. It helps me. But we're all very different in the things that help us and the things that, to me, having something on my desk is highly motivating. I like to have something here to work on. It's kind of in the spirit of the whole adventure thing. Nope. Okay, I keep going back to this blue because I just really like it. I like to kind of put it down and then like that. Just kind of offsets that. I am going to trim this one up, y'all. It's fun to make your own elements, to kind of DIY, do things yourself instead of relying on store-bought things. Store-bought things are quite nice, but sometimes you can't get to the store, or if you're like me, you just don't want to go. That's where I find myself a lot of times. I just don't want to go. Don't want to go out of the house. Our mask mandate is dropped here in Virginia. But I've been going to places where you still have to wear a mask. So I'm cool with that. I really like the way that looks. That's a fun one, isn't it? So, it is nice to have a choice. Whether you want to wear a mask or not. We're just using paper scraps here. I mean, what you're kind of going for just diffusing the image. I like to do that. Let's see if I have anything really small here. Don't. And I really like the background. Like this. Take risk. The fun thing about having these in a journal, whether it's a written journal, a junk journal, an art supply book, a flow journal, is that it is an immediate journal prompt. So when you look at it, you read the words, you mull over the image, and you have a writing prompt. You have something, you have a go point there. You have a starting point. I kind of like this, even though it's Christmas. I really like it. All right. This says embrace the journey, but we're just going to use the embrace part. Embrace the holiday spirit. I know it seems early, but you know how that just kind of rolls around very, very, very fast in our world. Just a bit of really old text. Went to the farm yesterday and had an awesome strawberry picking experience. And I also picked up honey for my throat. Local honey is excellent for allergies, or, you know, it's a wonderful thing to build your immune system. And I had not had any for quite some time. So I was really happy to get some yesterday. And the berries are divine. They're very small, but they're so sweet. You know, a lot of times, I don't know if you guys know this or not, or even if you're interested, there are two ways of growing, well, growing a lot of things, but strawberries particularly there's the authentic way of growing strawberries. That is straw mat rows. So, you know, if you remember going to pick strawberries when you were a child, you probably experienced the strawberries, because that's the authentic way to grow it. And relying on that authenticity is, you know, it's very tricky, y'all. We don't have irrigation at the farm where I work, so, you know, you're just kind of relying on, it's very, very, very old-fashioned. I mean, we could have done some irrigation this year, but I know that's just not, you know, set up to do that on a regular basis. Anyway, so you have that straw mat way of growing strawberries, the very authentic, true way to grow berries. And then there is an accelerated technology called plastic culture. And you've probably, if you've been to a strawberry farm lately, that's probably what you've experienced. It forces the strawberry plants to bloom early, and typically when you have permaculture or plastic culture, the berries that are grown are really big, really beautiful, look like something out of a magazine, but they're hard as a rock. And, you know, if you are able to slice them, you have to literally douse them and douse them and douse them with sugar. This was from a pirate book, and it shows a hanged pirate. So we're just going to get rid of that image. We'll put Captain, make today count. That sounds like something that a captain would say. So 2 different ways of growing strawberries. The authentic way, strawberries, or the plastic way, plastic culture. It doesn't even sound appetizing or appealing, does it? But, you know, people are like all excited because, oh, I got some big berries. They're not edible, but... So anyway, I got to pick berries yesterday. I brought them home. You know, there's something very meditative about preparing food that you have picked. And I experienced that when I harvest things from my garden. It's almost a holy experience to be able to process your food. It's sustainability, it's substance, a substance project, you know. Substance is simply you are managing your journey. You are managing your food power journey. It's up to you. You know, you're living off grid. There we go. Be original. All right, let's see how many more we can get done. I've got about 5 minutes here. Got about 5 minutes before I got to get on with other things. I have this beautiful rose paper. Let's see what we can do with that. Some rose tissue paper that I was using as a collage page in one of our art supply journals. That's going to work really great. Hey, Tammy, why didn't you just use this side? Because that is an awesome place to journal about something, friends. Makes a nice little spot, you know, to journal or write somebody a note. You know, you could drop that in a lunchbox or something like that. It's all perspective. And I'm just going to whack this bottom off right here. There we go. Got this sweet piece of painty paper. What shall we do with this? I like just the way it looks. And, you know, sometimes the simplest things are the most fun, right? Okay, so let's see. Make these border strips work for us. So you had a little lesson about strawberries and sustainable living. If you're really interested in watching people practice off-grid living, I'll leave a link below to the Nat Geo show Port Protection that I adore. It has been picked up for another year, another season, so that's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's such a refreshing look at probably how we should live, how we should manage our resources, how precious our resources are and how important they are, and what you know, remarkable beauty they add to our lives. Now, I'll tell you that there is hunting and there is fishing and there is processing of hunting and fishing, but these people don't hunt and fish for sport. This is how they live. Port Protection is on Prince of Wales Island in Alaska, and it is part of the rainforest. And you cannot reach Port Protection except with on airplane, not an airplane, a seaplane, or a boat. I mean, that's it. So they're cut off, you know, essentially cut off from Walmart or, you know, Amazon or anything like that. They do have some things flown in, but it costs a lot of money to have things flown in. So it's a very, very, very interesting look at people living off-grid, making their own power. Just so many very interesting people there. So like I said, I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can check it out. I'm looking for a little focal image here. Miss Cheryl sent me some of these. Look what she did. She so cleverly. I mean, this is the inside of an envelope. She's a smart gal. Smart gal. Be awesome today. That's a wee tiny one. I think I'm going to put that to the side. Let's go back to this pretty, pretty paper here. And then we can use our pink border strip right there. You know, I think probably Bible school will happen again this year. This is a wonderful little meditative project for Bible school. You know, maybe you can make inspiration chippies. You probably might want to do that with an older group of kids. Let's do some old school right here. If you like this video and found it inspiring or helpful in any way, I have a tip jar, and it is at PayPal, so I'll leave a link below. We do appreciate tips over here. It's very funny. I'm 63 and I'm still, you know, kind of, tips are real important. Tips are very important to lots of people, y'all, especially servers, people who bring you food, people who bring you groceries. I read recently that a server, the guaranteed pay for a server is $2.13 plus tips. Man. So that's just all I got to say about that. I dare not say not one more word, because it will turn into a rant, and we just don't rant over here. We prefer quiet, calm. Didn't that turn out good? And see, you can see the writing underneath it, and that almost is like a text element to these chippies. So, you know, don't discount what you already have, what you already see in your food packaging, because, you know, use the text on the box as a text element for yourself, right? How fun to go old school, right? Remember when we used to do it like this all the time? We would just put strips on here. Fun. Wow, we got lucky with that, didn't we? Totally fit. That's enough. So love on those people who bring your food to you. Always give them, you know, I had the distinct pleasure of one of my children giving me a DoorDash gift card for Mother's Day. So I didn't have to cook on Mother's Day. I can't tell you what a super pleasure that was. And, you know, they're always so considerate. They always, you know, whatever they give me in the way of a gift card, they go, now make sure Chris orders something. I mean, good boys, good boys. So, I did like a double tip on that because you know, it was a gift. So someone gave me a gift that day. So why not gift the person who brought my food, you know? So everybody got a gift that day. Everybody got some love. I thought I had that other thing over here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Now this one is blue, right? So let's just kind of do something very easy here. You know, we talked a little bit about authenticity today. Be yourself. You know, we hearken back to the ways that, you know, the simpler ways of life. That's what I felt yesterday when I was on the farm. I felt like, you know, I was so appreciating just the simplicity of being there, of hearing voices, of, you know, the voices of absolute delight from the kids that were picking berries. You know, their joy-filled little exclamations when when they reached down and, oh my goodness, they found a strawberry. Oh, it's just so sweet. And you know how they were picking them and how their moms were encouraging them to you know, when you go berry picking, man, I mean, they aren't right there. You have to like lift the plant up, and you know, that's where the jewels are. That's where the juicy stuff is, you know. And it was it's very heartening to hear giggles and laughter and be outside. And you know, we are a open air farm market, so we were not constricted by mask even during the pandemic. You know, we were encouraging people to, you know, social distance, which our fields are marked off in grids, so people are kept, you know, 6 feet apart. And, you know, if someone encourages on you and you aren't comfortable, then you just move to another grid. It's very smart. Okay, we are almost done here. I think this is going to be the last one. I'm getting pretty croaky. I love the way A, B, C, D right here has kind of shown through the tissue paper. This is one of my favorite sayings: hold tight and pretend it's a plan. You just pretend it's a plan. I've lived a lot of my life pretending it's a plan. All right, don't panic, just pretend it's a plan. There we go. So let's put a little story together. Yes, sometimes you have to just pretend it's a plan. You know, don't get panicky, don't get crazy. Don't let circumstances dictate, you know, it's happening, it's there, just pretend it's a plan. Even when you're pretending it's a plan, it's possible to live each day with grace and authenticity, especially if you do what you love and love what you do. Being authentic means that, I'm looking. You always have an adventure. Adventure begins every day when you're authentic, when you're being yourself. You can do anything, but not everything. Don't forget to love you. be awesome today. And you know what? If you can't be awesome today, then just take it easy on yourself. It's hard to be awesome every day. You know, just focus on being the best you can be. And even if that's, I mean, sometimes that's just too much, all right? So if we can't be awesome today, and if we can't be our best today, then just be. Just be. Live in the moment, just be. Make today count. The best way to make today count is to remember the now. Life is a journey. Practice kindness, and remember that it's all perspective, y'all. It's all in the way that we're viewing things. It's all in the way that we see and interpret the moods and the vibe around us. It's awesome to be original. Take a trip, practice inspiration, going places, just make it the best day ever. Embrace what's coming up. Take risk. Not crazy risk, okay? But take that risk. Maybe there's something that you just really wanted to do. You know what? Maybe you wanted to paint your door yellow. And you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And it's like, I really want to paint my door yellow. Well, just do it. Go get some paint. Paint that door yellow and take a photo of it and send it to me. I want to see it. Cruises are coming back, and I'm sure that everyone on a cruise ship is doing their best to keep everyone safe. You may say I'm a dreamer. Yes, but I would really like to have some Caribbean memories and be in a first-class cabin. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care of yourselves. Talk to you later.